My name is Ogden, and I've dedicated the last 4 years of my life to improving my social skills. And in that time, I made some pretty decent progress, and I've even been able to help out a few guys to achieve similar results. So one thing which I see very commonly happening with guys is that their life looks like this. When they're at home, and maybe when they're speaking to family or friends, or relatives or people who are close to them, they are very chill. They are social, extroverted, they have a nice sense of humor, and they're pretty charismatic and it comes to them naturally. It's super easy to be like extroverted and everything. But the moment they leave the house, the moment they start being around strangers, around other people, maybe at school, maybe at work, it's like they instantly become a completely different person, and they become like this weird, like almost socially like inept guy or girl who, it's like you start speaking really weirdly and you start acting and moving around in a really weird way, and it's like you just become like a fucking robot that's just weird as fuck. And because of that, you start getting labeled as the quiet kid in school or that quiet weird guy at work, right? Basically, this all comes down to anxiety, okay? Because here's how it works. The reason this happens with strangers, but it doesn't happen with your close people, is because with strangers you get anxiety. You get anxiety with strangers mostly because you lack experience, meaning you haven't really spent that much time speaking to strangers, being around them. But also a big one is that you might be pulling some sort of trauma from something that's happened when you were like younger. Maybe someone made fun of you, maybe someone told you that you were like a weirdo, and ever since then, every time you go out into, to between strangers, you instantly remember that trauma, or at least it stays with you, and gives you like anxiety and makes you like become tight and not know what to do and become weird in social situations. That's basically the root of the anxiety. So it's either some sort of trauma, or it's just simply the fact that you've never spoken to really any strangers, you've never really been that social, and because of that, that's like an uncharted area, right? So just like your brain would make you be anxious to walk through like a jungle that you've never been through because you don't know what to expect, right? You might get killed, a tiger might jump out. The brain still uses that like primal way of functioning, except now it's not that you're walking through a jungle where a tiger could come out and kill you. It's that you're trying to navigate social situations and speaking to strangers, which you've never done, right? And so your brain gives you anxiety because it doesn't know what to expect. Now, how that ties into you becoming like a weirdo is basically when the brain gives you that anxiety, right? What it tries to do is, in order to protect you, it tries to put you in the place or in the position where you're the least likely to do anything that's going to put you in jeopardy, right? So in social situations, that would be like speaking weirdly, acting weirdly, saying weird things, being, I guess, weird and shut out from, I guess, the friend group or from the people, right? So your brain does everything it can to make you not be weird, right? And the way that it tries to do that is by manually taking care of everything. What I mean is, let's say when you're speaking or you're around strangers, do you never notice how when you're around people, you just notice where your hands are? You become super like obvious or super present of like where your hands are standing, and you're thinking like, where should I put my hands? What should I do with them? You become super aware of your entire body, and it kind of tightens up. You become super aware of the way that you speak and what you're saying and how you speak. The reason this is happening is because your brain is taking manual control of all of these like mechanisms from the body. It's trying to do them all, like your conscious mind is trying to take care of them all in order to not have you, do them naturally with, let's say, like the back part of your brain where it kind of comes to you naturally without even thinking. Your conscious mind tries to stop you from doing it naturally in order to not have you like fuck it up, basically. But by doing it, it makes you fuck up because the brain is very good at thinking, right? It's very good at problem solving, thinking of solutions, stuff like that. When it comes to controlling manual or mechanical movements like your fingers or your hands, the conscious mind is pretty shit at that, right? Like right now, if you were to lift up this hand and start like wiggling it around and stuff, you're probably doing this. You're not thinking about how you're gonna do it or all of the muscles and how they move. They're being taken care of by like some other part of the brain or some deeper mechanism that I don't know what it's called, right? But your conscious mind isn't thinking about it. You can focus on the hand and then, move the fingers around and be more conscious of it. But in general, it's always taken care of by like this, I guess, natural automated system, And when you are letting that automatic system take care of this stuff, that's when you're an average person. That's how people go and speak to other people and act in social situations without being weird, because everyone lets those actions be driven and conducted by that like automatic system. That's why when you're at home, right? Think about when you're at home and you're maybe speaking to your parents or you're speaking to your brother and you're super charismatic and it's funny. Are you thinking of what you're gonna say? Are you thinking about where your hands are when you're speaking to your bro? No. That's exactly the reason that you're so chill and charismatic around them and that you're able to be natural. When you leave the house though, your brain, your conscious mind takes over, tries to do everything manually, which is supposed to be done automatically, and it fucks everything up, right? So how do you solve this? What you need to do is you need to lower the anxiety, right? How you lower the anxiety, which is also how you get your confidence up, is by just, if you remember that analogy of the jungle, what do you think would happen if that same jungle, right, that you're kind of scared to navigate right now, if you went and you walked around it 100 times? Let's say the jungle wasn't too big, I don't know, it was like, or there was like a path that you needed to take through the jungle. Imagine if you took that same path 100 times. Do you think that the 100th time you'd have the same level of anxiety and fear that you had the first time? Probably not. Because now you know what to expect. There's a hole right there, there's a cliff right there, there's this big tree, there tends to be a snake there, you survived 100 times. Your brain now sees that, okay, this isn't actually deadly, and okay, I can go through this, I can get through this. Your brain sees that, and it starts giving you that confidence boost, and it starts lowering that bar of anxiety. And when your mind lowers that anxiety, it kind of starts trusting you more. When you show yourself that you can do this, your conscious mind is kind of just going to leave the processes to the automatic system. And then you're just going to start doing this stuff, walking through the jungle automatically without really using your conscious mind too much. And it's just going to become way more natural, way easier. And in social situations, you're just going to stop being weird. So to put this in exact practical terms, you literally just need to go and speak to new people. That's it. To simplify it, speak to like 3 new people a day, every single day. Get the cold approaches, progressively like deload, like get down to the point where it's as easy as you can do it. Because if you try walking up and being like, having like a longest conversation, you're not going to be able to do it. You'll chicken out. So just lower the bar of success. Think success is you just walking up, breaking the ice. Lower the difficulty of the mission, of the approach, by just lowering it down to something as simple as just walk up, say hello, and walk away. And then just rinse and repeat that until you get enough experience, it's not scary anymore. And then once it stops being scary, you'll notice your brain starts or stops fucking with you. It lets the kind of automatic system starts taking more care of the things that you do, and you'll notice that you just start being way less weird, way more charismatic, and being outside feels like way less scary. You don't have some of the tics or the random shit that happens to you, because the sole reason that all of those stuff happens is because your conscious mind is trying to take care of everything and make sure that you don't fuck up anything. But because of the fact that it's doing that, it makes you mess everything up. So you just gotta get more experience, speak to more people, and then eventually it'll just stop being anxious. You'll stop being anxious about it. Your mind will calm down, and then you'll just get that charisma, and everything will just fall into place after that. Of course, you want to like progressively overload and you want to climb the levels, but level 1 is just breaking the ice. Just walking up, saying hi, and walking away. And if you want to learn to go even deeper in that, you can check out other videos on my channel where I basically explain how to kind of progressively overload that, how to get from like level, because it's like from level 0 to level 1 to just like unlock your brain. Once your brain, your conscious mind stops stressing out so much, that's when you can move up to level 2 and 3 and actually learn social skills techniques and how to handle social situations, how to get more charisma and confidence and everything. I have other videos on my channel that you can check out on that topic. And if you found this video helpful as well and you want to get more help from me, like one-on-one, you can check out the first link in the description. You can also check out the second link, which will take you to my community, where you can speak to other people and learn from other people who are also on this journey. Thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. You can click and watch this video, click on the subscribe button, and do the work.